Hi team, just to follow up to this email that I received from Brian around the Horizon program at Sodexo, and I was looking at some of the pieces associated with it. This is going to go into a different font, but consistent handling of employee relations issue, easy access to information by all employees, one stop for accurate and timely answers, standardization of policies and procedures. All of these are things that I think that we can provide in a very easy to use, out of the box solution. And what I wanted to do is illustrate that using something called IBM Connections. So here is a community that I put together that would provide that one place to go where people can get access to policies and procedures. One of the things that we talked about was a knowledge base where they could get access to that information and really drive the dialogue between HR and the rest of Sodexo. So let me just kind of walk through some of the components. Typically at a landing page, you have the executive with an executive welcome. So I just took Elizabeth Carpentier's picture and added just a little bit of content. So again, this is something that an end user can do. You don't really need any help from IT in order to do this. The other thing that I thought was important, and you can see there's navigation along the left-hand side, was excuse me, this concept of a knowledge base. And the terminology that we use, and we could change this to knowledge base, is forums. So you can start a forum on any particular topic, and these could be topics that are kind of owned and managed by HR, and they can make them available to the end users. But what's really nice about this is, how do I apply for a new job? So you can see that I had posted this as a question. So if you notice, it says this question has not yet been answered. So people can reply to this content, right? And they can add their 2 cents and add their opinions. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to have transparency and feedback so that everybody knows what people are asking and people can see the responses. Now, maybe the exact answer will come from HR folks, but again, it's the idea to kind of go beyond just the printed content and ask questions and have a dialogue around that. So again, something pretty easy to do, and you can either start a discussion topic or you can associate that with a forum. So again, if I wanted to create a new topic, I can just click on topic, and I'm just going to kind of just make up my own question, and again, I can mark this as a question, and then I can associate it with other forums. Again, so we're just trying to make it easy to add content. Now I'm not going to save this, but this is just kind of the out-of-the-box capabilities around creating a knowledge base and using that knowledge base to collect, capture information, and share feedback. Now, eventually, you may want to make these more standard. There's standard policies or standard procedures that people follow from an HR perspective. So what I wanted to share here was, welcome to the, Horizon, benefits wiki or benefits page. And so if you go down here, notice that, I've got life events, I've got money events, I've got career events, and I've got health events. And we can drill down into each one of them. So, maybe one of my life events is a leave of absence. So clicking on that, it could be a series of steps, or in this case, links of here's what you need to do if you're going to be going, leaving for any particular length of time. Or, I'm expecting a new baby, or I'm getting married. What are the different kind of checklists or steps that I need to be able to perform? So you can use the knowledge base, the forum of question and answers to kind of capture, what people are thinking, and then use that to kind of drive, in this case, the standard procedures that would be found in the wiki based on different types of events within HR. So I thought, and again, all of this is created by the end users. So from the perspective of HR, they can kind of own and manage this page. And you saw that it's very, very easy to create content. If I wanted to add an additional page, I can just go to Page Actions, create a peer page. And again, this will give me just a standard type of type ahead or editing capability where I don't need to know any HTML, but there is an HTML source there. So if I do know HTML, I can insert that. But basically, just a rich text editor will be fine enough. So I'm just going to cancel out of that. And go back. So the other thing that I just wanted to share real quick is that you can make this available to HR and they can manage who can have access. So by default, everybody has read access. But let's say that I wanted to add another member, and we all know Stephen Thorne, and I want to add him as a member. And again, in this case, I want to add him not only as a member, but maybe as an owner. So again, it'll go against the back-end LDAP, and again, there's 2 or 3 different Stephen Thorne, so which is the right one? Oh, there he is. There's Stephen Thorne. He's the director of sales. So I want to add him to this. So again, it's very easy for me to create access control and to publish content to the particular members of this environment. So I'm just going to cancel out of that. The other thing that I think is very helpful is that you can see all of the different updates. So what are the most recent updates? So you can kind of see that the last thing that I was working on was the leave of absence in the Horizon Wiki. But and again, most of this content, well, exactly all of it was created by me this morning. So you're going to see that all of my contributions are in the recent updates. The status updates is kind of like Twitter. Maybe an executive wants to just send out a quick note to everybody, hey, we just acquired a company, or hey, we have a new benefit, or hey, we have a new strategy that we want to share. It's just a simple one-liner where I can add a file or things like that. If I go back to the overview page, on the right-hand side are just some important bookmarks. So maybe a link to benefits enrollment. Because it's tax season, maybe you want to, maybe you've got some techniques or areas around working better with your taxes, or maybe you're interested in the IBM Global CHRO study where we interviewed 700 people on 700 HR executives on what their strategies are. And again, you can see the membership here, which right now I'm just a member. And then the other thing too is, there may be video or other content that you want to share inside of Sodexo. So again, this kind of like a YouTube experience, but in this case, it's internal to Sodexo. So here's one of the videos that I populated this morning.
And each of us working for Sodexo is unique. And each of us working for Sodexo is unique.
So if I just go back, you can have other type of content. Here's one around Sodexo benefits, right?
Know they're trusted, when people know they're valued, when they're recognized for all their efforts and what they do for you and for your organization. People do give 150%. I think that's just part of our DNA, part of our nature.
So again, different ways of uploading content. And to upload a video, essentially all I had to do is just go to the upload video button, choose a file, and then upload that data. I can tag it and give it a description, and I can choose a thumbnail for the video. But again, very easy to share content. The last thing that I just wanted to cover is this idea of sharing analytics around what's going on inside of this community. So there's, who is the most constant contributor? As HR puts content in here, what is being used? Maybe they need to tweak the message. Maybe they need to put different type of content in here. And again, because this is only a day old, we're not going to have that much metrics. But again, it kind of gives you an idea of the type of information that they're looking at. And then again, if I go to view all metrics, this is the kind of content that it's looking at. What are the most active entries in the blogs? What bookmarks are people going to? So maybe it'll allow me to change what kind of content that I'm putting up. What's the most active forum topic? So again, it allows HR to go in and see what are the results of the content that they're sharing with the folks in this community. So again, I just wanted to give you just a quick kind of snapshot. This is something that end users can build. It can be hosted on the cloud, it can be hosted on-prem, but it's just a nice little way of kind of putting together those factors that came out in the email. I'm just trying to pull that back up. Just to kind of relate back to one stop for accurate, timely information, consistent handling of employee relations issues, and so on. So again, in summary, that's what we're targeting on with tools like this one. In this case, the Horizon community. Thanks.